Well, it's quite a development, and for more on this, I'm joined now by Brandon Andrews of Impact D.C. He focuses on defense, foreign relations, and other key topics for the organization. Brandon, thanks for joining us.
Sure.
You know, I just want to get back to that report. One of the leading senators here in the United States, the Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein, is pushing to have most of this report, or half of it, I would say, declassified, to publicize this report. What's behind that effort, and why now?
Well, we've seen a move in the United States Senate and the United States Congress more generally over the past few years to open up the process, to ensure that Americans feel like they aren't having secrets hidden from them in the United States Congress and in Washington, D.C. more generally. So you see some committees, in particular the Armed Services Committees, beginning to make their markups of their key bills, including the Defense Authorization Bill, open, or at least parts of the markup process open to the public. And so it's an effort to say that Washington is doing the business and we're doing it in an open way, in a way that the public can hold us accountable.
Right. Now, if we look at this report and we understand from what's in it that it shows that the CIA misled Congress and the White House. Misled could be a euphemism, could have lied to Congress and the White House on what they were actually doing as far as interrogation programs were concerned. Now, what is the impact that that is going to have, when Congress releases this information that they were lied to, especially as it comes, as we saw in our report there, so quickly after James Clapper lying to Congress? Sure.
Well, we've seen this back and forth on enhanced interrogation techniques since about 2002, when Zubaydah, who was a former Al-Qaeda terrorist, the White House asked for the ability to use enhanced interrogation techniques on
torture.
him, or as some people would say, as a euphemism for torture.
Right.
And so we've seen this back and forth. Now, some in Congress and some folks at the CIA would say that Ms. Feinstein is being political, that Democrats or more liberal members of the Congress or more liberal members of the public have an issue with any type of interrogation technique. Folks on the right or supporters of enhanced interrogation techniques would say we need to have these things in place to ensure that we can keep our nation safe. And so it's an example of that back and forth. Now, if it is indeed true that the CIA has lied to the American public, it is an issue with what you said with Clapper, and then also with, of course, the Edward Snowden case. It's another PR blow, certainly.
Right, but isn't the issue here, when you talk about these interrogations that took place, isn't the issue here about the fact that this type of interrogation, torture, produced very little information of value?
Well, here's the issue. It's an issue of means and ends. So Feinstein and others are saying that CIA, the means that you've used to get information are not justified. The ends do not justify the means in this case. And so they're not only saying that, but they're saying that there wasn't a whole lot of information that was received. Now, information is classified and it is sensitive, so we don't know whether or not there's been a lot of information. But you have to imagine that with the killing of Osama bin Laden and with the capture and killing of others,
is the point here? You know, the CIA is saying, look, we had to carry out these kinds of we carried out this kind of torture because we got information that saved lives, that prevented more attacks.
Right.
But now we're finding out that that's not the case.
Right. Well, allegedly it's not the case. The CIA has done a review and have made comments to the report they're pushing to have released. So they're pushing to have some portions of the report changed to reflect what they say is information that supports their view that they've been able to get good information from these enhanced practices over the years.
So they have a view in it as well, and as we know, the C.I.A.
and it's up to the Intelligence Committee as to whether or not they accept those edits that the CIA has sent back to the U.S. Congress. And so that'll be one of the key thing to look for going forward.
And the current director, John Brennan, as we heard in that report, doesn't want any of it to come out at all.
Sure.
Okay. Brandon Andrews, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks for joining us.
Sure. Thank you.